What up? It's Mike G, Hot 97.5 and 103.9 with a very special guest today, Whitney Woerz, everybody. Give it up for Whitney.
Hello.
So, Whitney, you sing beautifully.
Thank you.
But let's just go to the meat of it. Let's go to the beginning. You're 17 years old.
Yes.
Doing this on the road, touring and doing the whole nine.
Mm-hmm.
And just take me through a typical day in your 17-year-old life while you're juggling, appointments and singing engagements and all that.
Okay. Well, I'll pull up to school and I'll go to my academic classes and then say like halfway through the day I'll leave to catch a flight to a different state, and then I will be out for a few days at a time. Sometimes if I'm actually on a tour, then it'll be a few weeks. My teachers don't like that at all.
And you said that you get dinged when you're not in school, basically, because you have a year left.
Yeah, I have one year left, but you should see my report card. Like my grades that I actually got didn't show up on my report card. So we're going to have a big problem when I go back to school. That's a different story, but it's all fun though. It's so worth it. It's so worth it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, how do you write that note? Like, I'm sorry, Whitney will not be in school today. She's touring the country singing for people.
We just say Whitney will be absent at this point.
That's good. That's good. I'm sure there's not very many check boxes on the form, so they keep it simple.
Yeah.
You got a year left in school, and then some of your classmates, you're on TV, you're on YouTube, you're singing. Do they get involved and like really support you in your career, or are they like, why did she get to miss so much school?
It's kind of like half and half. A lot of my friends, like my good friends, are so supportive. Like they come to my shows, they listen to my music. They always they like to talk about it. But then there's like those. I go to a performing arts high school, so there's like a lot of kids who want to do exactly what I'm doing, and everybody's so talented and literally deserves so much, but. Some of them are a bit jealous, and then it starts getting a little bit like the judgmental kind of a thing, like I should be doing that. But hopefully they all will be.
I'm jealous of you right now. Hearing about your experience being so young, it's so like inspiring that you're able to juggle all of these things. And that leads me into, the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is you supporting one of your friends sort of inspired your song, The Idea of Her,
mm-hmm.
correct? Can you tell me about how you wrote that and what your friend was dealing with at the time?
Yeah. So actually, this goes back to one of my previous singles. My first single, Ghost Story.
Oh, Ghost Story.
A few years ago, I wrote this song, Ghost Story, for a friend that reached out to me and said that she was like going through depression and that she wanted to end her life. And I was only 13 at the time, actually, and I really didn't even know how to even comprehend that. And so I sat down and I wrote this song for her. And I sent it to her, and she said that it just like really helped her and inspired her to get help and go to therapy and stuff. And she's doing really well right now. And then she thanked me so much, and it was that inspired me to, if I could help one person, I could help so many more. And so then with Idea of Her, it was like kind of a follow-up to Ghost Story and that message sort of a sense, but also I totally expanded it to like a bunch of people I saw. Like I walk through like my high school and I see people trying to be something that they're not. And that Idea of Her also goes into, the message of being yourself and everything, and just that it's okay and that you're not alone in anything that you're going through also. So yeah. All
it takes is for you to explain to someone that they're not alone. Like people deal with us all the time. And there's something cool you do when you perform Idea of Her. Talk about that. So you have the whole audience basically interact and play along, participate.
Well, I started off by just saying, I asked people to turn on their flashlights and like put them down on their phones. And then I say, raise your lights if you've ever been affected by depression, anxiety, or any other mental illness. And some people raise their lights. And then I expanded and I say like, now keep your lights up, but raise your lights if you have had a family member who's experienced depression, anxiety, mental illness. And then I say, have you known anybody who's experienced depression, anxiety, mental illness? And the entire room is lit up with light. And then I say, look around. And like, it's such an inspiring moment every single time, because like everybody, it's a message that nobody is alone. And you see all these people who have been going through this, and You're
giving me goosebumps right now, because that's such a cool way to do it, and just sort of like highlight that everybody knows somebody doing it, mm-hmm. going through it, or maybe it's themselves, and it's just so amazing that at 17 years old you can take that concept and people are dealing with at your age, especially with all sorts of issues, and just growing up, that you can sort of stand above the crowd and say, hey, this is an issue we should talk about it. We should address it.
Because it's the stigma around it, and that's why like some people don't get help because they're afraid to talk about it. So I let people know that like, it's okay.
That's so inspiring. And you also have done some social change work with it, with Glenn Close's charity.
Yeah. I'm a teen ambassador for Bring Change to Mind, which is an organization to help end the stigma around mental illness run by Glenn Close. And yeah, that's just been great. Like we help each other out. And I'm starting a program at my high school, actually. Their teen program is called Let's Bring Change to Mind. So I'm starting that at LaGuardia next year.
That's awesome. I was in the 90210 club in high school, so I accomplished a whole lot. You're obviously way ahead of me when it comes to successes. Whitney Woerz, everybody, and it would be remiss without having you explain how, if anybody needs help through the charity, where they can go, the website. Just go ahead and tell anybody where they can go.
bringchangetomind.com, but it's a number 2, so bringchangetomind.com. Yeah.
You're changing our lives for the better just being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Can't wait to hear you perform.